For today's class, you're going to need a couple of weights. You can decide if you want little weights, if you want to put heavier weights next to you in case you want to change it up, feel free to do so. If you don't have weights, you can use little cans, you can use little water bottles, or your own body weight, a Pilates ball, a block, and a tennis ball. Good. So today we're going to be working on a lot of mobility and a lot of ankle mobility and some knee and hip mobility. So oftentimes there is a relationship between, of course, the foot and how the foot affects the ankle, your knee, your hip, and even your shoulder. Everything is related. Oftentimes we don't have enough flexion in the ankle, so that gets jammed, and then your gait when you walk, it affects that as well. Same thing with your knee. If you only walk a certain way, you only have a range of motion of a certain degree, that's going to affect the way you walk, and the way that you walk is going to affect everything else in your body. So we'll be working a little bit of all of that. That means that you may feel a little pressure. It may mean that you feel a little discomfort. You might feel that some adjustments are taking place because your tissue has been stuck for so long in a certain way that your nerve system thinks this is the pattern I need to be in. So, of course, as always, be cautious. Don't ever move too fast. You want to test the water, see how that goes. And if you get the okay, you go a little bit further. But you don't want to go from 0 to not even 60%. You want to go 20, 30, 40, 50, and then see how you evolve. So we will get started on the block. Actually, take the block. If you have a ponytail, move your ponytail up. The block is actually going to go to the back of your skull, okay? Above your cervical spine. And there's also a bunch of tissue in there that really doesn't get stretched enough. That's a part of your back line. So the back of your skull, you can, on the low setting, you can hold on to the block with your hands, open your collarbone, relax your hips down to the floor, ground your feet, and then slowly roll to the right. And keep the pressure on the block, and notice how that radiates through your back body, maybe even through the front body. You can drop your chin a little and you can lift your chin and see the difference. Just explore. So at the moment, just focus on the center of your skull. And at one point, you might feel a little wave of pressure coming down your hips or your spine. Wiggle your hips on the floor. And then slowly start to bring your chin down. And you may hit the base of your skull behind your ear. And that's where your sternocleidomastoid is, a muscle that connects your jawline to your clavicle, your collarbone, and to your top of your sternum. And you might feel pressure. Notice if the right side is feels different than the left side. And this is something very basic that is really beneficial to do. Notice the relationship between what you're doing to the spine, to your hips, to your shoulders. And then grab the block, take your fingers under the block. Elbows in. And now you're gonna lift your chin up and then lift the block off the floor, but press your head to the block. So you strengthening here your cervical spine, depress the shoulders down, lift your chin, and then your upper back. For 3, breathe 2, 1, lower the block, stay here, open your elbows, right and left. You may notice that your body feels awkward, like you're off the center. Look at your center from your nose, chin, into your pelvic floor. There's a straight line. Bring your elbows in, lift your chin, inhale. And on the exhale, press your head to the block, lift the block off the floor. Find your center here. Depress the shoulders down. Lift your chin again. Breathe here for 3. Breathe 2. And 1. Slowly release it. Move the block out of your way. Little circles up and over your head. Breathe here. And I go the other way, down and up. Good. Extend your left leg out. Move the block out of your way. Right knee into your chest. Give yourself a little tug here. And now you're gonna abduct. Take that leg all the way out to the right. Keep your left hip grounded. And now lift your right heel towards the ceiling. So now we're doing a little rotation in the hip joint. Lift that heel as far up as you can. Your toes are coming down. That's not gonna happen, but do your best. So we externally rotating the hip. And then kick the heel all the way forward. And then turn your toes up to the center and bend your right knee again. Give it a little hug. Abduction, pull the leg out like a T with bent knee. And now lift your heel. You may notice some things going on in your hip joint there. You're externally rotating that hip. We're trying to mobilize. And now kick the heel towards the left leg. Bring your toes up and hug your knee to your chest. Abduction, take the knee out to the right, listen. This time bring your knee towards your left knee and kick your foot to the right. Internal rotation now. External rotation, lift the heel up to the ceiling. And now bring your right knee towards your left knee. Give it a hug. And change your legs. Hug your knee. Ground your hips down. Relax your shoulders down. And now abduction, open the left knee to the left. Lift your heel towards the ceiling, externally rotate, and notice how one side is totally different. That will give you good feedback. Kick the heel towards your right leg, toes are out. And then lift your toes to the ceiling and give yourself a hug. Abduction, your eyes are in your hip joint, open to the left. Lift your heel towards the ceiling, turn it in. Breathe in there, notice what you feel. Kick the heel towards your right leg, toes are out. And then lift your toes up and hug your knee to your chest. Breathe. Abduction, open to the left. This time lift your heels up, up, up as best as you can. And now do the opposite. Turn your knee in towards your right knee. Lift your heel. Breathe and notice what you feel here. Extend the leg out and give yourself a hug. Abduction. Open, open, open. Lift your heel up, 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 up. And now do the opposite. Bring your knee towards your right knee. Breathe in there. Feel what's going on the left hip. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly kick it out. And give yourself a hug. Good. Bend your knees to the floor. Open your feet a little wider. And drop your knees right and left. Right and left. Good. Find your block between your knees on the medium setting. We're going to go into our little bridges. Ground your hips, hands alongside your body. Inhale. And then on the exhale, lift your tailbone, lift your sacrum, lift your low back. It's a very, very low bridge. Breathe in here. Lift your palms over your head. Breathe. This time, turn your right fingers towards your right knee. Take your left hand over the right hand. And then give it a little stretch. Depress the shoulders down. You're in the low bridge. Notice if you're pressing both feet evenly to the floor. And now slowly change your hands. You're still in your little bridge here. Depress the shoulders. Press your feet. Notice the inner, the outer arches of your feet. Correct that. And then palms to your thigh. Inhale, lift 1 inch. Lower. Lift and hold. You're diving all the way to your bones. Lower. Lift and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Lower. Press your feet evenly. This is your chance to check in and lower. Lift and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Lower. Lift and hold. Palms facing towards the block, facing each other. Now little squeeze and release the block. Little squeeze, release. Little squeeze, release. Little squeeze, release. 2 more, squeeze and hold. Release, squeeze and hold. Hands to your thighs, lengthen your hips towards your calf muscles. Lower your low back only and breathe into that traction. Enjoy that length. And then lower your sacrum and enjoy that length. And then lower your tailbone down. Good. Move the block, rock side to side, but stay on your sacrum here. Now you already remember how to press your head to your hands so you don't compress your cervical spine. This time take the block, lift your right leg up, take the block on your thigh the long way and take your elbow to the block. Bend your right knee, plug the arms in, Left hand behind your head. Press your sacrum to the floor. Press your thigh to the block. And now lift your shoulders off the floor, lift your head and press your head. Keep breathing, extend your left leg out. Lift a little more for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your left leg, lower your shoulders. Inhale. Resist your leg to your hand. Exhale, lift your shoulders, lift your left leg. Now, don't allow your left leg to be too low because then you're going to arch your back. So lift it until you feel your sacrum grounded. Lift your chin, resist your right leg to the block for 4. Breathe 3, lift your shoulders off the floor. 2, 1. Lower your left leg, lower your head. Inhale, last one. Resist your thigh to your block, relax draw the shoulders down. Exhale, lift your shoulders, extend your leg, head to your hand, lift your chin. Keep breathing here. Sacrum on the floor for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and relax. Woo! Drop your knees to the left and to the right. Good. Left leg comes up, take your block long. Elbow on the block. Now, make sure that your ankle is not adducting to the midline. You want it to be aligned with your knee and your hip. Right hand behind your head, elbow in. Inhale, press your left leg, sacrum on the floor. You're not on your tailbone. With your next breath, lift your shoulders, extend your right leg, lift your chin. Keep breathing here, resist your left leg. 4, 3, lift a little higher, 2, 1. Drop your right leg and drop your shoulders. Always remember, this is short-lived. Inhale. Resist your left leg. Shoulders down. Exhale, lift your shoulders, lift your chin. Extend your right leg. Now press your head to your hands. Press your left leg to your block. 4, 3, breathe 2, 1. Lower your right leg and lower your shoulders. Okay, last one. Inhale. Press your leg to your hand. Exhale, lift your shoulders, lift your leg. Keep breathing here. 4, 3, 2. Press your sacrum down. And 1. Slowly release everything. Oh, open right and left. Okay, rock and roll and come up to the side. Now we're going to work those little obliques. Very important. We're going to do dual action here. Sometimes we get compressed in here, and because we think it's tight, we think it's strong. It's opposite many times. We need to activate those obliques. So you have this option to take a little weight if you wish. I would recommend to start without. You're pressing your lower obliques here. Breathe in here, and I lift your top hand. So I'm on the left side, or you can be on the right. We're gonna do both sides. So yeah, inhale. And now exhale, reach your hand forward and over your head. Lift your hips off the floor, but squeeze your obliques on the bottom. Keep breathing. Make a fist with your hand. Breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly pull your arm up and lower your hips down. Okay? Some of you can take your top leg behind you, okay, and do the same thing if you wish. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes forward. Breathe and squeeze round your upper body. Squeeze your bottom body. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. Good. Last one. Inhale. Straighten or stay with bent knees. Exhale, hand forward over your head. Lift and round. Breathe here. Expand your breath. Can you create a big expansion in your rib cage? Squeeze your oblique muscles on the bottom. Open your top body. Slowly come up and release. Take your right leg behind you. And then take your left hand behind your head. Just open, decompress the bottom side here. Lift your chest up. And now can you breathe into those ribs, into the back ribs? To be accountable that you're really breathing deep breaths, try to breathe to at least 3, 4, or 5 inhalations. To the count of 3, 4, or 5. And then hold it as long as you can. Visualize how you're stressing out that tissue. And that's how you get rid of that stiffness and slowly come back. Oh, take a moment, breathe. Okay, side B. Start 1 with your knees bent. You're on your forearm. Lift your chest. Inhale, bring your top hand. Make a fist with your hand. On the exhale, bring your hand forward. Lift your hips over your head. And now round, round, round your side body. Use your obliques on the bottom. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Squeeze. Scoop your bottom waistline into the spine for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down and come up. Okay. Maybe your top leg goes behind you. Press it down. Inhale. Bring your hand forward. Make a fist. Lift your hips. Breathe here round. Lift your ribcage to the ceiling. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Oh, that's a lot of work. It gets into those little root canals. Inhale. Stretch your leg. Hand forward. Lift. Breathe. Lift your hips off the floor. Round your spine a little more. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Bend your back leg behind you. Breathe. Take your right hand to your head. And now breathe and lift your chest up. And now to the count of 3, 4, or 5, expand your rib cage. Can you lift your spine tall like a sugar cane and then round and open the right rib cage to the wall on your right. Slowly come up and release. A few shoulder rolls. Good. Okay. So now let's get those arms out of the way. I would recommend to sit on a block, even on the medium setting if you need, or stack 2 blocks, one on top of another. Now, at one point, the tendency will be for your front ribs to protrude forward, and that means you're gonna do this banana shape. Take your hand behind, one hand behind your back of your skull, like we had the block, one hand to the front ribs, and now resist your head to your hand and draw the ribs down. And feel that, feel that. Take a memory of that. Breathe. And now with that memory, bring your hands to your weights. Visualize you have 10-pound weights in here. And if you don't feel comfortable, sit on a chair. Hollow your belly, elbows into your rib cage. Open your palms to the right and left. Widen your collarbone. And now squeeze your weights towards each other. And then pull them out. Keep your elbows in. And bring it in. Open. Give it a little squeeze. Lift your chest. Lower. Give it a little squeeze in. Open. Squeeze. Lower with control. Squeeze in and then give it a little squeeze forward. Pull it down. Open. Squeeze. Lower with control. Center. Flexion. Lower. Open. Flexion. Lower with control. Center. Flexion. Come back center and take a little rest. Lengthen your tailbone, lift your chest up, inhale, palms are down. Find your imaginary 10-pound weight to lift up, right hand, only to shoulder height. Plug the arm in. Lift your left palm up. Lower halfway with your right hand. Lower halfway with your left hand. Turn your palms towards each other. And now lift your palms up. Whoa. Lower halfway. Lower halfway. Turn your palms and lift it up. Here we go. Lower halfway. Lower halfway. Shoulders back. Turn your palms. Lift. Halfway lower with control. Halfway lower. Turn your palms down. Lift. Oh, gets heavy. Last one. Lower halfway. Lower halfway. Turn your palms. Lift. Lift. Take a little rest. Ooh, shoulder rolls. Inhale. Bring your hands to a little cactus here. Lift your right hand up towards your left ear and then pull it with control. Left. Reach. Lift that shoulder blade. Glide it off your rib cage and then depression. Bring your elbows towards each other. Squeeze it in. Here we go. Open. Right. Breathe here. From your rib cage, from your scapula. Pull it with resistance. Left. Notice which side feels more alive. Bring it in. Elbows in. Squeeze. Push it out like through molasses. Open. Right. Pull it in. Left. In. Together. Now, little lift of the right elbow and then the left elbow. Right elbow. Woo! Left. Right. Oh, I feel that one. Okay, one more. Lower down, rest. Okay, shoulder rolls. Okay, now from the front, take your weights down. Core is active. Your weights are facing up. Hollow your belly, depress the shoulders. Lift your right arm up. Open to the right, but keep your chest forward. Lift your back ribs. Come back in, lower. Lift your left. Notice you're working also on your mid-back. This is really good work here. Open to the left, gaze forward. Bring your left pecs, chest forward. Come back in, lower. Nothing in your low back. Inhale. Notice as you lift what's working. Slow. Lift your right arm. Make friends with that feeling. Open to the right. Core active. Bring it in. Lower slow. Lift your left slow. Feel it. Feel those muscles coming on. Open. And treat each side differently. Lower. One more. Inhale. Lift. Hold it here. Lower halfway. Lift and hold. Notice what's working. Make friends with it. Lower. Last one. Lift and hold. Lower. Good. Second side. Inhale, shoulders back. Lift slow. Lower. Lift and hold. Halfway only. Lift and hold. Lower, halfway. Lift and hold. Lower all the way. So interesting, I'm right-handed, but my right side felt like it needed more work. So take a note of all of those things. Okay, last one. You're gonna take your hands by your ribs, lean forward a little, shoulders wide, the collarbones wide, hollow your belly, front lower ribs down, and now kick your arms back. Pull towards the midline, and then bend the elbows in. And forward, gaze forward. And bring your elbows in. Hollow your belly. Widen your collarbones. Kick it out. Bring your hands towards each other. And bend. And 3. Bend. And pull. And bend. And pull. Bend. One more. Lift. Pulse it. Don't be sloppy. Go slow. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Less is more. And 3. Lower. 2. Widen your collarbone. 1. Lower and rest. Oh, take the weights down. Few shoulder rolls. Lift your palms, right wrist over the left wrist, right wrist over the left wrist, and then palms together, but don't interlace. Bend your elbows and lift your chest up. Breathe in here, open to the left, open to the right. Use your breath, use your breath. Come back center, lower your palms. A few shoulder rolls. Take your hands behind you, interlace your hands. Pull your hands away from each other, widen your collarbones. Drop your chin just a little bit forward, but widen your collarbone. Breathe here. Bring your shoulder blades towards one another and down. And then lift your palms a little higher towards the ceiling if you can. Slowly release it. Oh, shoulder rolls. Allow that tension to leave your body. Bring your palms left over right this time. Palms together, but don't interlace. Bend your elbows, lift up. Shine a light through your shoulder joints, open to the left or to the right. Use your breath. Now you have lots of space. You've broken all of that connective tissue. You have more space and mobility. Come back in, inhale, take it to the other side. Come back in and release it. Okay, good job. Let's get off the knees, stretch out one leg at a time. And now we're gonna work on a little mobility of that knee and the ankle. So you're on your left knee. If you need padding for your left knee, please feel free to do so. And now take the right ball of the foot all the way to the, you need to have enough length between your block and your left knee. Your hands on your kneecap, core active, and lengthen your tailbone. And now all you're gonna do is you're gonna come forward, so your knee is gonna come in front of your toes. And now in opposition, visualize your heel coming down to the floor. So, Alisa, I think you're too far on the block. I want your heel to be in the air. I want your right heel to be off. Yes, yes. Breathing there, breathing to those Achilles and reflexing here the ankle. And then ever so slowly, whoa, lean back in a straight line. Inhale. Exhale, knee aligned with your second toe. Or look at your block, bring your knee, the center of your knee to the center of your block. Breathe in, go slow. Remember, if you have like a wonky knee, you don't wanna overdo it. You have to go slow to break into that tissue. Now press that heel down, even though it's not gonna touch. Take your knee forward if you can, a little more. It might pass your block, it should pass your block. But safety first, oh yeah. 3, drop your heel down in opposition. And then ever so slowly, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Woo! Okay, last one, inhale. Visualize a lot of aromatherapy oil all around your knee. Last time, look at your center of your knee, align it with the center of your block. And now come forward, forward, forward. Keep breathing. Drop your heel energetically towards the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. In a straight line. This is great for strength as well. As you can see, it takes a lot of effort to come back. Release that knee, shake it off. And change. Walk your right knee back so you have good stability. Hands on your kneecap. Look at your knee and look at your center of your block. Each side is different. Make sure your block is straight. Each side is different. Inhale. Exhale forward. Yeah, you might hear a lot of creaking here. Glutes are active. Slowly break into that. That gives you good information. Can you reach a little further as that tissue starting to open and marinate? Drop the heel down in opposition. Power in a straight line, come back up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, slow. So we're stressing the tendons in a good way. That creates strength and stability. Drop the heel energetically to the floor. So there is strength going on and there is stretching going on in the back there. And then we'll do the opposite. We're gonna strengthen as we come back. Oh, okay, this is good work. Inhale. Exhale, straight line. Drop the heel towards the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Power and come back up. Release it and let it go. Awesome work. Come down, shake it off. Give yourself a little massage on the knees. Okay. So, 2 more little drills here. Pay attention. I'm gonna put the ball under my belly and the block is gonna go, you're gonna be on your back, on your belly. The block is gonna be in the medium setting. Just watch first. And then I'm gonna frame. You may have to walk up a little. I'm gonna hook the block with my inner ankles and heels. Now, you're gonna take a ball right under your low belly, below your navel, and you're coming onto your forearms and interlace your hands. Don't go yet. This is your resting pose. On my work, I'm gonna lift my chest off the floor and lift my belly. Just my skin is touching the ball. Squeeze the block, and then I'm gonna squeeze, oh yes. Breathe there, and then slowly lower down. So you might have to adjust your ball to feel more stable. This one didn't feel too stable, so I had to adjust it. Push the floor, lift my belly, elbows back. Squeeze the block and bring it in. Lift your chest. Feel those glutes, your adductor muscles. Everything is working. And I slowly, don't lower your belly yet, just drop a little bit. Lengthen your tailbone, gaze forward. And then squeeze again. Lower a little bit, squeeze with control, lift your chest. Your belly is active. Squeeze the blocks to your glutes. Slowly release and rest on your belly. Be careful not to press on any tendons, yeah. Take a little pillow, rest. Squeeze your blocks, walk your knees back a little more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the block. Come to your forearms, press down. Elbows back, lift your chest, lift your belly. Press the block and come back in. Lengthen your tailbone, gaze forward. Lengthen your tailbone. Squeeze your inner knees. Lower down slow. 5, 4, 3. Lengthen your tailbone. 2, 1. Slowly release it. Make a pillow. Rest on your belly. Maybe your hands move out of the way. You can totally melt into the ball. Again, I can't say that enough. Be careful not to press on a tendon so you don't, bruise something. Go further down below your navel, and then you can go to the right inner and left hip bone. And that's where your psoas and the iliac is a muscle that is a deep hip flexor. Slowly release. Stay here with the ball on the left side of your body, right above your little glutes. We work those obliques. So you're right on the outer glute. Lift your rib cage, and then come up and over. We just stretch that. Lift up a little bit, like you're rolling over the ball so you're not on your ribs. And then rest here. Your top leg can be extended, mold into the ball. And visualize the ball is sinking all the way to your spine. You can take your top hand over your head and open those ribs again. Gentle, everything is soft. Your fingertips are soft. Your breath is working more than your muscles. You try to relax the muscles and deepen your breath, but keep the pressure on the ball. And every time you're breathing, you're poking the ball with your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Option to take a block on the medium, let's see. I'll probably say on the low setting, right under your armpit on that same line. Okay, and then you can roll, take your top hand behind your head, and then you can roll forward and back. Adjust the block to where you need it, and then just come forward and back. Move slow, and then you'll go deeper. And if you find one spot that needs attention, stay there. Just go an inch forward and an inch back. Again, we're opening into the serratus, your lats, the intercostal muscle. There's a lot going on there. Slowly release and come up. Move the ball out of your way. Stay there. Just take the block on the medium setting on the left side of your cervical spine behind, hook the edge of the block behind the jawline, okay? And then scoot your hips away, grab the block, lift your chin up a little bit, and then you can come forward and back. Or just stay there and marinate. That feels really good, just here, creating space, traction, decompressing your cervical spine, those scalenes, those muscles on the side here. And then, of course, the edge goes to right behind your ear and the base of your skull. That's where that sternocleidomastoid, that's where it originates. And now we've given it a little bit of hydration. Once in a while, notice it's traveling to your hips or to your spine. Stick your tushy in and out like wiggle. Create a sense of fluidity, of energy through your body. Wiggle your toes, all of that energy. As you're hydrating, there's like a little river flow going through your body, and you're trying to reset it by wiggling, moving a little bit. If you have your tennis balls close by you, take it under the bottom leg. You can take it to the edge, okay? Be on the side there, but coming towards the front of your thigh. You can go towards the outer knee, okay? And press both knees towards each other to create pressure. Or you can go a little higher. You can also extend your top leg and bend it. Extend. Knees are together, you're just putting pressure. Extend. Whoa, and if you want a little more, just wobble the ball sideways, horizontal. Cross fiber there. You can do whatever feels good. Stick your tushy in and out, little circles. Use your breath like a river flow through your body. If you stay in one place for a while, it's eventually going to travel to other places. But if you want to move the ball to a different spot, you feel free to do so. Breathe. Try to liberate your hips and your spine. Good. Slowly release it. Oh, come all the way up. Keep your toes close by you. We're going to start just with the ball first. On the other side, lift your ribcage and stick that ball right at your outer glute. And now come to your forearm and lift up just a smidgen. Make sure it's not rubbing on your ribs or a sensitive spot there, and then rest. As I said, keep your toys close by you. Give it a minute to settle down. If your top leg is too sensitive, take a block between your knees. Your top hand can come over your head. And now over time, you're deflating the air out of your muscles. And now your breath becomes the muscle. Radiate a nice light through your body. Breathe and hold your breath. That's how you grow and evolve. Bulge your belly at the top of your breath. Breathe and then pause. How long can you pause? And then slowly you exhale. Stick your tushy in and out. And now with your next breath, come up and find your block on the low setting under your armpit or thereabouts. See where you need it the most. Top hand behind your head, and then slowly go right and left. Or stay in a place that needs attention. The movements are slow. Notice if you're holding your breath, change that. Slowly come up. Find your little ball in front of you. Block on the medium setting, right over under the base of your skull. You can move the ball out of your way. Shift your hips away from the block. And then find your little ball under your knee, the outer knee, wherever feels good for you. And visualize that little river flow flashing down your body. You can do whatever feels good to get. Every side is so different. Like on this side, at the moment, I don't even need my opposite knee on top, but for you, you might. Okay, and then you can extend and bend, extend and bend. Do whatever feels good for you. Stick your tushy in and out. From time to time, you're releasing, because wherever you are on the outside also indirectly connects to the hip joint. Use your breath. You can also go cross fiber right and left, forward and back. And visualize as you're doing that, slowly, slowly, you're trying to visualize how your bones are floating in your skin, as if there's no attachments. You're trying to release any pulling or any compression. Slowly release and come up. Oh, so good, so important. All right. Your midsection, the little T12 and L1, right below the shoulder blades, the lower ribs, really. This area is weak. We try to do that with the weights today, but also it needs a little release. So we're gonna take the ball to the left side, okay, just below your lower ribs. And it probably won't feel very good, but you're right on the left side of that spine. Take your hands sideways, open your feet a little wider, and then lift your glutes, and roll to the right, towards the ribs, and come back in. It's very little, it's 1 inch. Lift your glutes off the floor, just wiggle very little. Shimmy your hips right and left. Right and left. The ball is on the left side, right on the left side of your spine. It does not feel good. It's very intense, but breathe into it. It will feel good when we come off, I promise you. Keep breathing little. Just shimmy your hips right and left. You can even do a little hula hoop, like you're skipping a rope with your hips. Oh, and now wherever you are, this is also helping you to release your lower back, your pelvis, also your upper back, the whole region along the spine. Good. Take it down to the, go down towards your L1, that's your lumbar, so you're still on the left side. And now shimmy your ball, roll over the ball to the left and come back in. So now we're hitting those QL muscles, the muscles that connect your back, lower ribs to the hip. Breathe in there. You're scraping that tissue towards your waist and come back. You decide how much pressure, just be careful. And then take it down a little more. You're still on the left side of your spine, and then roll your hips to the right so the ball goes to the left. Use your breath, get in there. And I take it down to the left side of your sacrum. So now you're on the bony part in the low section below your spine. And I just roll to the left and back, left and back. You can even just press on the ball and do a little hula hoop. That's really nice, like a pressure point. And release it, move the ball out of your way, notice your left side of the body. You may even feel that flow of warm energy flowing down your feet, your fingertips. Take a moment to enjoy it. And then come up, and we do that same thing on the right side. So right, the low ribs on the right side. Close to the spine. Open your arms, your glutes are off the floor. And now you just shimmy your hips to the left and center, to the left and center. And notice how this side might be totally different. And you may find a little pressure point, you just need to stay there, don't move the ball. But use your breath. And this is good opportunity to learn what's going on in your body really. Was this side more intense than the other one or not? And now try to connect them like you're going over a bridge, a lot less weight as you're coming across the spine to the left and to the right, like a little seesaw. We're just trying to connect the two dots together, the right and the left. Very little pressure, just a little bit more, really hydration. And the next time you're on the right side, take it down to that spine. And then roll to the right with the ball, come back. To the right. Put more weight here if it feels safe. And your ball probably will move a little bit, that's okay. Anywhere on that low back. You know, and sometimes a teeny little shift in your musculature and your tissue can create a little compression on a nerve. And you think it's like, oh my God, it's like big problems. Oftentimes it's really little. Okay, now take it to the right side of your sacrum. You're on the bony part below your spine and roll to the right. Feel free to even go further down towards your tailbone. We have 6 muscles underneath the glute muscle, the big muscle there. So we don't spend enough time on those tissues, so go further down on your glute as well. Release it, lay on your back. Oh, you might feel your legs want to just stretch out like jelly. Breathe in and feel that work. Slowly come up to a seat. Last one, take a ball under the ball of your foot, take your hands behind you, okay, and then just roll over the ball, just hydrate a little bit of the work we did here, flush it out. And then take it right below your knee, right below your knee, right in between the calf muscles, the gastrocs. There's another deep muscle they call soleus. You can take your right ankle over it and just press down. And just wiggle your foot a little. And irradiate that light towards your back body, towards your foot, and towards your hip, and towards your shoulder. Good. Release it. Take the ball under your right foot. Hands behind you. Wiggle. Go towards the metatarsus where your joints are as well. And most of the senses of the foot, believe it or not, is on the outer edge of the foot, the pinky side. Good. And I take it right between the gastroc, those big muscles in your calf muscles below the knee. Right underneath that, we have the soleus. So you can stay here or cross your ankles and then just go side to side. You can circle your ankle if you wish. And notice again how this side might be totally different from the other side. That gives you good information. The more you think you figured it out, then something happens and then it's totally different because the inventory in the body is always evolving. As we strengthen something, we move into the next dynamic, the next dynamic. So that keeps us always curious, and that makes it so interesting. And it keeps us on our toes. It's not like, oh, I do this every day, and you did the same exercise for 20 years. Your body already knows that, you know? Find something different. All right, release it. Cross your legs. Take the ball in your hand, just give yourself a little rock and roll. Ooh, yeah. Feel that. Again, go towards the knuckles here. And then you can interlace your hands and then roll the ball, especially the joint of your thumb. Lots going on there. Release it, flick your fingers. And then bring your hands to your heart center. I really hope that you feel energized, mobilized, strong in a good way. This type of work is, like I said, every work has benefits. For me, this is like the tune-up of the body. We all need it, and it's something that you can do when you're 85 years old, you know? Thank you for being here. Namaste. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye-bye.